Now, sorry there's been a break in continuity, but my camera battery ran out. I don't know what's wrong because I just charged it last night. So I've just plugged the camera into the wall, and I'm dressed. I'm bathed and dressed, switched my computer on. I wanted to show the people viewing this. That's my book, Don't Tread on Me, Anti-Americanism Abroad. That's the American edition. It has the colonial flag with the snake on it. That's my book, Spitfire Girls. It's a novel. And this is the UK edition of Don't Tread on Me. And it has, that's a picture of me and my dad. Sorry, that's a picture of me and my dad. That's my grandfather in around 1905, the one with the Lincoln hat holding the flag. That's the UK edition of my book. The reason why the American edition doesn't have the burning flag is because it was felt that it was a bit provocative to be in shops. So the American Encounter books, the British one is Social Affairs Unit, which is a conservative think tank. That's a portrait of me by Hans Feibusch. Again, my mother in the army. Hans Feibusch charcoal drawing of Moses and the tablets. My tchotchkes. And again, the Don't Tread on Me American edition. That's my grandmother. You can see where I got my figure. My paternal grandmother, and that's my father when he was very wee. Her husband, my grandfather, died in 1929 of lead poisoning because he was a house painter. So this dear lady, who could barely speak English, she spoke Yiddish, raised my father, and then my aunt, his little sister. His little sister was a baby when the father died, my grandfather. That's some flowers I picked up off the road when Princess Diana's coffin went by here in St. John's Wood. That's me with Ruth Bird. Sorry, it's not me. It's Ruth Bird and her mother. She's my godmother in my flat many years ago. And a picture of Leonard Bernstein signed to me. It says, "Congratulations to Carol Gould on a splendid piece of work." I think I was 14 and I'd written some little school essay or something, but I met him when my sister worked at the New York Philharmonic. And that's our president. A lot of my friends get angry because they don't like him. My British friends don't like Obama because they say he's being anti-British because of BP. My Jewish and Zionist and Israeli friends say he's anti-Israel and he's a Muslim. But I don't have a problem with having a picture of him in my flat. I think everybody has fridge magnets. These go back about 32 years. I always have an American flag somewhere. That's from the Pentagon. I must be one of the only people in Britain to have a Pentagon fridge magnet. And, you know, there's an expression, if you sell booze to Jews, you go bankrupt. I think I've had this booze for about 32 years. Some of it's probably rancid. I'm not a big drinker. And that's a picture of my old friend and neighbor Karen Winter with her baby Ruby in 1993. Karen was murdered in Kenya in 1994. And Ruby is now a very pretty 17-year-old. They live around the corner. And she's been raised very well by her father, who never remarried. And that's the large print edition of Spitfire Girls, my book. It's the BBC large print edition. Just came out in July 2010. And my front page of the Washington Post, which my godmother Ruth Bird sent me from Washington, and in front of it is my tamarind tree. I'm trying to grow a West Indian tamarind tree, and that's my ex-husband Barry Phillips. We still keep in touch. He's still very dear to me, although we parted some years ago. That's my graduation picture from the Philadelphia High School for Girls. That is a picture of my great-grandparents, probably taken in around 1895. Look at them. They were probably only in their 40s, but they were so poor. Didn't they look miserable? My great-grandfather was a rabbi. That's a picture of my grandparents. That's my mother's mother. Again, look at her figure. That's where I get my figure from. And my handsome grandfather, Charles Carish. And that's a picture of my mother's Army unit, Fort Washington, Maryland, in 1944. And that's my mom at the top. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. There she is. That's my mom. Wasn't she pretty? And that's a picture of my mother with her high school graduating class in 1931. South Philadelphia High School for Girls. That's my mom as a baby. And that's a reunion of these ladies in 1981, 50 years later. Some of them obviously are gone, but those are the survivors. My mother's in white on the right, and that's those gals in 1931. And that's a picture of my sister, Susan. That's me when I was skinny. And that's me with the captain of the QE2. Gorgeous guy. A Helmut Newton print. Those are some friends in Israel in the photograph. And that's my father and his sister, my Aunt Isabel. It must have been in the 1940s. I guess around 1945. And that's my handsome father outside our house in Barringer Street, Philadelphia, in, I guess, in the 1960s. And here I sit in London. That's a design for a dress for Cause Celeb for Helen Mirren by Marilyn Taylor, who was our dress designer, our costume supervisor at Anglia Television. I was there for 10 years, and I worked as commissioning editor for drama. That's my mother's Army discharge certificate. And that's my my Phi Beta Kappa certificate. I'm getting at an age where I can't see anything anymore, so this Zoom is very helpful. My Phi Beta Kappa certificate from Temple University in Philadelphia. And that's the poster from my play, A Chamber Group, in Edinburgh, at the Edinburgh Festival 1980. Great success. It was a play about a contemporary music group, sort of like the Fires of London or the London Sinfonietta.